Okay.
Speaking of that kind of stuff, I'm still trying to figure out what to open up disk images, DSK images,
Yeah. What are you trying to do with them?
read them and add stuff to them and
Oh,
write to
okay.
them. Yeah, I've got my big thing is um, I still use WordStar whenever I'm using CPM.
Wow.
So I want to throw WordStar onto a few disk images.
Hmm. I found a disk image with WordStar on it that I downloaded on the net somewhere, and it works, which was interesting. So it was like an image, a DSK of the WordStar disks.
Yeah,
So I
you
could,
can use the simulator. You bring up the simulator. You have
yeah,
WordStar mount as a separate drive, and then you
right.
just
That's
put
what
it.
I played
Then you
with.
can
Yeah.
write it to write. You write, copy it over to the main drive or something, and kind of build yourself your disk you want, and then you have the DSK. And then the issue is writing that out to something you can use, of
Right.
course.
Yeah.
You
There
know.
was a guy in the Altair Arduino group that was writing a Windows program for you could do a directory listing of the DSK
Mm.
file and then add files and subtract files that way. But I think he gave up. Because I haven't
Yeah.
Yeah.
seen
D-
anything for
d-
maybe a year.
does that other? And I'm getting gonna get the
Yeah,
name
that
wrong.
was it.
The DOS. There's that uh, DOS program, image disk or something. You see a lot of the
Yeah.
a lot of retro guys using it out
I
there, and
think I've
that
seen
I'm
that
wondering
out there.
does that one? I don't know if it does DSK. Um, also, I thought the Grease Weasel. I could have swore it was able to read a DSK for me recently, though.
Well,
The resulting disk it created was not usable, but
yeah.
but
Uh,
that could have been me.
read a DSK. Wait a minute. A grease weasel. The grease weasel's primary function is to get the flux image off the diskette.
Yes,
Yeah,
but you can put the flux image back onto another diskette.
Right.
So
And you can put the flux. Yeah. Right. So you could.
so you can use a
Right.
DSK and I believe it'll read that and then put what it deems is the
Right.
flux image
Okay. And then
on.
I've used what the hell is the software? HXC floppy emulator.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, I think that was involved when it.
That will read the flux images and output DSK files.
Okay,
Part of
maybe that was in there when I did it. Go
Yeah.
ahead. Sorry, Terry.
Yeah.
part of the issue there is you got to know
Oh
what
God, yes.
format the original floppy is.
yeah, like a DSK image. I think like on the simulator, it doesn't matter if it's an
Right.
Altair,
Right.
Tarbell. They all
Yeah.
use this. They're just typically the problem with the Altair is it's got all the hard sector
Oh God, yeah.
Yes.
formatting
Yeah.
stuff in the data, where all the other ones, at least on the simulator, they're just the payload, just the data.
Right.
So the Altair is kind of an interesting. I haven't found many of the like software emulators and stuff or that work. That's why I just use Altair Simulator because it'll work with Tarbell. It'll
Mhm.
just about any controller that's out
Right.
there. You can move files back and forth. Um,
One of my too many projects.
Well, I need to show you my new project. Instead, holding it up.
Uh, Cassette? No,
That
sorry.
is a SIO board,
SIO board. Yeah. I was
Oh,
going to
okay.
say. Yeah.
but it's a Model C, so it's quote TTL. It's not the Model A.
mm,
But I came across it on eBay and paid way too much money for it.
It's part of the
But
hobby.
it is, as far as I can tell, a Rev 1, which is the later version of a C board. So now I've just got to figure out how to get the TTL to talk to something else.
Yeah.
As I've looked at the circuit, it's a bit odd.
I did one of those. I've got I think three of those boards.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, all three have been bastardized.
Yeah.
I glued RS-232 drivers dead chip mode on the
Yeah.
boards.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about using one of the little TTL to RS-232, the Max 3232 chips,
yeah.
Yeah.
and seeing if the TTL output of this will drive that. Because
It
if it will, then I can take the 5 volts ground and the in and out, that will power the translator, and then I'll just get RS-232 out the other side. So
Right.
I've got
Definitely.
most of the bits on order to test that next week. So hopefully, but this thing is
Yeah.
pristine. It is clean. There's no
Nice.
damage on it. There was
Cool.
2 wires that had a repair on them. 2 of the jumper wires poorly, and I just redid those and put some heat shrink over them because somebody had put bits of tape over them and they were falling off. Bits of electrical tape that were 40 years old and they got a bit dry and flaky. But other than that, it is super clean. It came strapped for 110 baud. So it was probably used with a teletype in the past.
Teletype or a very early modem.
I remember, yeah. So that's my next project, is to see if this thing will work. And if the TTL is actual true TTL, which I'm not sure if it is or not yet, I might get it to drive my cassette board, which has a TTL input, the one I got from Mike.
Cool.
So I might be able to hook this up to Mike's cassette board and then hook that up to an external cassette player and move on from paper tape to cassette.
That's a big jump. I don't know.
Yeah, it might take a while. But yeah, so that was, like I said, I probably paid, well, no, these things, I've seen these things listed for $700-800, and I paid a lot less than that for it.
Good deal.
The best part was the picture in eBay was for one with some extra stuff hacked on the top, but the one that arrived in the mail was clean. So the picture and the actual unit weren't the same one.
Was the extra stuff hacked on the top?
Yeah, it was like it was like components hanging in midair.
Oh,
yeah, above.
it wasn't the cassette interface board then.
No. It was a bunch of extra components somebody had added that were all kind of suspended in midair.
That's kind of what mine looks like.
Right.
Sounds like the guy had a couple of them then.
But this one is like I said, it is beautifully clean. There's no tarnishing or anything.
That's a happy surprise. I've seen ones where it didn't match the picture, but usually it's in terrible condition when that happens. It looks like a elementary school teacher was teaching them how to solder.
Yeah, there was a couple of S100 boards posted on eBay this week, some CompuPro boards.
Yeah.
Where if you looked really close, and one of them was one I've been looking for, which is a Disc 3.
Yeah.
And when you look really closely, about half of the card edge connector was gone.
Ooh.
Yes.
Like a huge chunk taking out of the edge of it. Yeah. I looked at it and I went, nobody's going to buy that. Well, if
they don't see it is the thing they'll get home.
The picture wasn't very good. And I looked real close and I looked at some of the other pictures. I said, yeah, there's a piece missing from that.
Yeah, I think I saw that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not selling it, so
that's okay. I'm not buying it, not with the chunk missing. Yeah, one of these days I'll get one of those and start playing around with hard disks in CPM.
Oh.
But using real hardware. Well, use an MFM emulator probably. That's why I want a Disc 3, because Disc 3s will drive MFM drives.
Yeah, the Disc 3. Go ahead.
The Disc 2 had like 6 very specific, very old drives that it would work with, and that was it.
Yeah. The Disc 3 doesn't need a select card or something?
No, that's for the Disc 2.
Disc 2, okay.
That's the Disc 2, you have 2 cards, and there's about 5 drives, some like old Pertec drives, I think, that it will drive.
I'm sure you can find those.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But
I'll look through my brother's stuff. I'm sure I'll find it somewhere in this garage.
Yeah. But if I can find a Disc 3 that looks decent, I will probably, that'll be when I progress from like modems to disk drives.
I'll look. I might have one. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, for the next few months, we'll be getting this SIO board to work and seeing how, unless Patrick gets the replica working, he said, hint, nudge, nudge.
Yeah. I keep seeing squirrels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm on a 3.5-inch drive squirrel.
Oh.
I think I led you to that one, buddy. I'm not sure.
I must admit, I was looking at, after our call last week, I was looking for, okay, are there any 360 RPM 3.5-inch drives out there? Apparently there are a couple.
In fact, I was asking Joe, do you guys mind looking at this real quick?
Please do.
As soon as I figure out what window gosh darn it. Window I'm on. How come it's not showing me my video option anymore? Oh. These things still right.
Okay, there you are.
You guys, I don't remember 3.5-inch LEDs flashing like when it's reading and writing data
Been so long.
and all that stuff. So I was going to show it because I was talking to Joe about it. It's going to write here again in a second.
Yeah, I think it probably depends
That's
on the
activity. I think.
yeah,
normal?
activity. Yeah.
I don't remember that at all.
I do have one I can hook up in a little bit. Right after the meeting, I'll throw it into the system and just to see. I don't know if it's I know it's 3.5 inch. I have an old DOS system 486 set.
Yeah,
I keep
I
around for
think
stuff.
they were, showing activity on the drive.
Yeah, I think so
Yeah.
too.
I was worried when you said blinking. I thought it was just like a steady blink, like it wasn't the activity. And then I'm thinking, okay, yeah, that's wrong.
Well, it's funny because I mean, these are the 3.5-inch floppies I've been carrying around for 4 years, and use a lot of 3.5-inch drives. And I don't. I just kind of remember them coming on when that drive was selected and coming on when that drive was like an 8-inch drive. I don't remember them like actually.
Well, wait a minute. My 8-inch drives, my sugar arts flash.
Oh,
as
do
well.
they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Most,
my shoe guards, they just, if drive select goes on, they just come on and.
That might
They
be a
should-
jumper setting somewhere.
there's a jumper setting on the drive that allows you to
Oh,
select it. Yeah, all my 8-inch and most of my drives, I've got them set up to where they flash only on actual disk activity.
Mm-hmm.
really? Okay. Because I was thinking, like, am I missing a ground? Is my power supply bad?
Yeah.
What is going on here? But there, I just booted CPM on a 3.5.
Oh, there we go.
Let's see.
Yep. One of these days I will find one of those that actually doesn't have half the card edge connector missing. That was so sad looking at that picture. And it was
Um,
a big
how do you
bite
mean?
ticket.
How do you mean half of the the connector was missing? You mean?
So the card edge connector at the bottom there,
Yeah.
there was a chunk in the middle of the fiberglass gone.
Oh, okay.
Like it broke
Like, so-
off.
Like it had broken off a big chunk of it.
Okay, because if you look carefully, the connector, the edge
Yeah.
connector looks a lot thinner, not as thick this way as most S100
Yeah, it
boards.
does look a little shorter, doesn't it? No, this
Yeah.
this one had a curved chunk out of the middle of it. And it was because I thought, oh, disc 3, the guy only wants $150 for it. And then I went, oh, he's asking too much.
Yeah.
Well, you could always piggyback it on another S100 board and a blank board, breadboard, and wire them together.
I'm not quite that desperate yet.
Not at $150 anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Patrick, what are you showing there? That looks like you're showing the jumpers.
That's
This is a TIAC FD
Oh God, that's out of focus.
Yeah.
235 HF.
Right.
Yeah. But then it's the
And-
next 4 digits or something. They're different versions of that.
There-
It's like
So this version here, all you got to do is run this. You got to remove a 0 ohm resistor, and then just run this one jumper to ground, and it'll run a 360.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I read that some of them support 300 or 360. Yep.
And then this one I have hooked up right now. It's a little bit different. It's again, you actually do the same kind of thing. You just remove the 0 ohm
Mm-hmm.
jumper, but instead of S4, it's now S5. And then you run that to ground, and that one seems to run at 3. It's the same drive number, but it has, a different number on the circuit. There's all kinds of different ones.
Oh, God.
But anyways, but they all seem to work, except for I do have an issue if I format, I keep just randomly get like retry, had to retry, but I don't know if it's my 40-year-old floppies
It might be.
or what. But it seems to work okay.
Yeah.
Other than that,
That's another idea is if there was a chart showing the jumpers for the different floppy drives to do the different jobs. That would be a
Well,
handy chart for people.
I was
that would
talking to
be,
Joe and writing, at least writing this up and see if Mike will put it on. Mike Douglas will put it on his FTC
Yeah.
Plus website, like at least for these drives that we've tested. This is how we've set them up, and
yeah.
this is how we made a cable, and because it's a lot easier to get 3.5 inch
God, yeah.
drives than these 5 1/4s.
Yeah, I was really hoping there'd be some sort of adapter as opposed to soldering and removing, stuff off the drives. It just makes it a little more complicated for doing it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm gonna make an adapter, and once I'm sure, like I can only run drive A now because you got to run head select to motor A and motor B.
Yeah.
I just don't have a Y. I'm just using these.
So that was the 235 HF?
Yeah, I'm just plugging cables into
Okay.
this
Yeah.
end
Oh
and
yeah,
that end.
DuPont cables, yeah.
Yeah. They
So,
are.
so I don't have a Y to run the other drive select, but or
Okay.
the motor on.
Yeah.
But I'll probably put a little board together.
Yeah. That'd be cool. Yeah. Again, I haven't had any luck with the 3.5 inch. Like I said, it was for me. It's just trying to get it to do 360. I haven't figured it out on the drives. I have very similar drives. I have the 235 HF and I have an HG, but some of them don't have jumpers. Some of them it literally says it's looking for a signal to tell it which mode to go. It can support it. I think it's low mode or whatever it was, but you had to send a signal, and that's where somebody said something about grounding pin 2 would send the right signal to the drive. But
the 235 HFs, I'm just looking on eBay, they're like $30 a piece, which is also that's pocket change almost in this home.
Yeah, and I had 5 HFs.
Yeah.
Now I have 4. Because this one, the black one, bezeled one, you remove the resistor from MS4 and run the jumper. So when I took this other one apart to get to the motherboard, I just removed the resistor at S4, ran to a jumper. Well, it turned out that was 5 volts. I ran 5 volts to ground. Different, and when I powered it on, I let all the smoke out of the darn thing. And that's why I now have 4. And so then I actually spent more time and said, okay, it's S5 now, it's not S4.
Yeah.
And it seems to work out. They run at a little bit different speeds on the AFXer. The one of them's running, what is it, 161?
Okay.
And this other one runs at 165 milliseconds per rev. So it's 4,
I think we're getting 166 on the 5 1/4, right? That's what we were.
It was a 166.
Yeah, I think it was 166. So there's the second one's close, but
Yeah, I think I'm getting 161 and 165.
okay.
I put a list of floppy drives that I have in my stash in the chat. Anybody needs one, all you have to do is pay for shipping.
Well, I know you can find people that have listed the ones that allegedly do 360. So it'd be interesting to see if any of those, like I know the
GFR ones, the 55. Is that what you're talking about?
I'm sorry,
TX?
the 3.5s.
Oh, okay,
Yes,
3.5. Sorry.
Oh, I thought the FD, what's a TAC? Is it a Sony? Or are they?
That's TAC. FD 235s with TAC. I'm looking at it on eBay right now.
It's Walt says Sony.
I could probably verify it, but
and I don't think I ever found a name on mine. Oh yeah, no, there it is, TAC. So, anyways, those will typically work. You just got to make sure you're jumping the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then I just got to go through and get them jumpered. Is what I'll have to figure out.
Yes, send a picture of it and see if it's one of the ones I have.
Okay, yeah. I'll do it later on. I don't have the ability to do it right now. But by creating the Shugart cable, the straight cable, that I have both the A and B at 5 1/4 inch working now perfectly fine. So
awesome.
Yeah, so that was good. Thanks for the help for that. That was nice.
Well, I learned that a IBM controller will work with a Shugart drive both A and B using a twisted cable,
Yeah.
but an IBM drive won't work with a Sugar controller other than using it as drive B prior to the twist.
Oh,
Kind
Yeah.
of what I figured out. I tried to make a CPM that would, or that would boot from drive B. So I got it to boot. I mean, I did a bootloader. I modified the disk to change it to drive one, but I was trying to get into just modifying the one byte. I would hope I need to byte on the BIOS, but they use XOR or XRAA to set it to 0,
uh-huh.
and you need 2 bytes to make it a 1. So, so I
Nice.
stopped and saw another squirrel.
You saw the error of your ways.
Yeah. What really threw me at first is I kept getting, I would change the byte and then I try to boot, I get C C C C C C C. I'm like,
Yeah.
and then it just dawned on me. It's like, wait a minute, there's a checksum on the drive on the disk file basically. So I had to go increase the checksum by 1 when I changed the 0 to a 1, and then the CRC matched, and then it booted.
Yeah.
All you need to do is put a jump there to some location in some other location in program memory, and then put, the 4 bytes or however many that you used to create the jump.
Yeah, I'll have to find a place because it basically does XRAA and then out 8. So you got your 3 bytes there. So I'd have to probably do a call.
A out 8.
Yeah, so
So you
that
could do,
3
at the
bytes,
end
yeah.
of your program, at the end of your BIOS,
yeah.
just put the MVIA 01 and then return or jump back into your the previous spot, your out, whatever it is.
Right.
Yeah, that might be. I have to decide if that's easier than just putting a new BIOS on the floppy.
That's an old time 8008 hack.
But I'm gonna try that just because it sounds fun.
Yeah, that's an old 8008 hack.
Oh, really?
Mm. Yeah, I don't think I've ever programmed for an 8008.
Well, it works on just about any computer if you're doing
Yeah.
assembly language, but
Oh, yeah.
that's where I learned it,
Yeah.
because the 8008 only had so much memory, and
Right.
at the time I actually did it in hand coding, because
Yep.
trying to move everything all around was a real pain in the butt.
Yeah. I remember hand coding a bootloader once with a friend, and then hand loading it on his IMSAI to boot the system up so we could burn a ROM, so we didn't ever have to do that again. But a whole evening spent with pads of paper and the opcodes and
Yeah.
oh,
Lots of retries there, Pat. Is that Patrick?
Yep.
Yeah, so if you get your 3.5 inch, I want to see if you have the same. You get your 3.5 inch going, but this is formatting the same floppy, so it's all over the place. I think it's just. I don't
Gotcha.
think it's a disk itself. I think it's
Yeah.
just the drive, but it does it on all 3 drives.
Okay.
So I'm
The
not
same
quite.
random tracks.
Yeah, it always seems to work. I think I've only seen it say error once where it just couldn't format a track. But that's kind of how my 3.5 inches.
And you're using the straight through cable with those?
No, this is now drive A on a twist.
So I think when I was playing around, it just sounds dumb with the 5 1/4. When I was having a problem, I had one that I could do something like this, and it would give me random retries with the twist. I'm just kind of pointing it out. I don't know if there's something about that.
And I believe initially when I first got CPM booted as drive B, like I could get CPM booted and run it. You just couldn't like Control C or system where it had to like reload the CCP because it would jump to drive 0. But I think I tried formatting a bunch of disks as drive B, and I was getting the same thing. And I've noticed when PC to flop runs, you can hear, click, 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 and then it kind of takes a little bit, and then click, and then it stops, and click, 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 click. It never spits out any errors, but it's having to try to write things a few times before it takes. So I'm hoping you don't have that problem, and then we can figure out what I do.
Well, again, yeah, I have to at least get mine to 360 first, and then go from there. I'll spend some time this week doing it. Yeah, I'll send you some pictures. I have, looking around. I have one, two, three, four. I like four or five drives. Um, all the TX and all either HF or HG drives. So I'll send you some pictures, and maybe we can figure out which one's the best to go with.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm looking at the HFs for 28.99.
Well, that's probably why I have so many, and why Patrick has a
Right.
few of them as well,
Yeah,
because
new
of
old
that
stock
price range.
and new old stock at under $30. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot cheaper than 5.25s are now. So
And
people,
the media is seems a little more solid. I
yeah,
appreciate
well,
that
Yeah,
too. So
yeah, and there's plenty of new old stock media out there as well. So
yeah,
yeah,
I
so
probably should get some new ones, but
it
or
might be an idea if you
new
got
old
four.
stock.
Yeah, yeah, yours are
new
old.
old stock.
Yours are old new stock, right?
Yeah. I
Uh,
just bought a bunch of 5.25s because I only had a handful.
Yeah.
uh,
Well, that's how I ended up with all those floppies. I have a guy posted on I think it was a Facebook notice or something like that that said, you pay shipping, you can have this box of floppy drives.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
so it was like about $30. This is a few years ago. It was like $30. So I was going, okay, you know, just buy a whole bunch of floppies. And I got 5.25 and 3.5 inch drives.
Well, we'll definitely go on. I think there's ones that do what, like 1.6 megabyte.
yeah, that's one when it goes 1.6. I thought that's when it's in 360 RPM is what I
Yeah, and
was reading. That
I
mode. So good.
those might run through there's a high density, low density pin that I think some of them have that I wonder if that changes it.
That's what I was saying. The pin two. Somebody says
Yeah,
grounding
yeah,
pin two
yeah,
would
yeah.
drop it to low density, and that's what somebody was saying. But again, so I was thinking
Yeah.
that's kind of why I was kind of ahead to see if I can just put some smoke out of it using grounding pin two. I
Reduce
don't
your
want
stock of
yeah,
drives.
yeah, I don't want you to show me up putting smoke out of yours. I mean, without me
Right.
doing it too. So
But anyways, but that's the real test of any system.
Yeah.
there you are.
So it'll do that.
There you are.
Okay.
Load basic and run Star Trek.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. Uh,
Cool.
so, I mean, I could do, and again, I've been playing around writing my monitor. I could give a quick
Yeah.
demonstration
Yeah.
of where,
Sure.
where it is. When I'm signing on today, my system is having a problem with cameras, so hopefully nothing will go weird with it, but we'll give it a shot. So how do I share?
Jomon. Down at the
Show
bottom,
'em on.
just click on
There we are. Yeah,
share.
share screen and select the window. Let me see what else before I share. Let me see what else I have on the desktop here, just to make sure I don't have
Yeah,
too
we
much.
are recording, so be careful.
Too much noise, or my bank account sitting out there, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
As long as you're not in the Epstein files, I think we're
no,
good.
I'm not my thing. Uh, let's see. Okay, so that's not the one I want though. There we are. Okay, well, we'll give it a shot. We'll see what happens. How embarrassing can it be, right?
And you can share a specific window if you click on advanced.
Yeah. I'm gonna see if I can do that. As long
Yeah,
as I
you
can cut
yeah,
and
you
paste.
click on the window you want to share, and then
Yeah.
you say share. Yeah.
Okay. As long as I can cut and paste into it. So let me
Yeah.
select a window. Burner. I think that's the right one. Okay, we're gonna say that one and see what happens. Okay. I think clear works. Okay. Okay. So again, be gentle and um I got the banners right in my way, which is kind of giving me a headache. There we are. Okay, so I'm running the Altair 8800 in the simulator as a
Mhm.
Z80. So right now it will fit on a 2K ROM, like it was a 2716 type thing.
Mhm.
But if I add anything else, I was looking to add something else, and I realized I was going to overrun it. This has not been optimized at all. So the first thing I have for me, I can never remember the commands. I know I have a cheat sheet for Altmon, so I hit C and it dumps out the commands.
Awesome.
So all you have to do is remember C, and you can see the rest of them. Dump memory, you enter in a range. I don't know, I'm just going to do dumps memory. Of course, there's not much there. So actually, we can do mod memory. Mod memory tells you that you got to give it a starting address. It kind of gives you up top, and
Oh,
then it's
wow.
telling you what it is. And AA, BB, CC, and then period drops you out. And then if you do dump mem, and let's see, this is going to make me a liar now. AA, BB, CC.
Yep.
So there, it's simple. And then test mem. Well, kind of goes. I'm giving short ranges so we don't have to sit here and watch it do too much, but it just puts up dots. It will put up an error if it finds it. It's hard being in a simulator to test bad memory.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. So that one I think there might be a little bit more to go with. Fill mem, essentially again, you put in the first range. We'll do a little bigger, and then you put in the value, and
Right.
it'll come back in a second with at the prompt. Then you
Mhm.
dump.
So what you're saying is you need a simulator that will simulate bad memory.
I got to figure out that one. Yeah, I did find a way of testing it. Know what it is? I actually tried to hit it the ROM area, and it
Right.
won't change the ROM area, so it would give me an error message, and that's about the best I could do.
You know what I think the best thing about testing memory would be is if there was a chart that showed you the chips on your RAM card, what addresses are affected
Oh,
on those chips.
Well, I've worked on this for how many weeks,
yeah.
and just to get a little display, I don't know if I could get it to give that.
Besides, how many memory cards are out there? You'd have to have
Oh
Yeah.
God,
And
yeah.
everyone is diced differently.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. So
Oh,
I showed Phil Mem. Let's see. Also, the other thing this is something I added. Port scan. So, and I haven't tried it on this system. All this I've developed up at the house, so I copied everything down in a rush down here. But port scan is think of the survey program. The last part of it tells you which ports are in use. So in the case of this, I getting a lot of ports in use. Shouldn't actually. I think up in my other system I get a lot less. But again, it's showing anything that's not returning an FF is pretty much when it scans through the ports in use. I thought that was helpful up in my development system. I pretty much only seeing the ISO card in one other port in use. So here I'm not sure why I'm seeing so much unless it's the setup I'm in.
it might be. Yeah,
You
that's a
know,
lot of ports to be active.
yeah, honestly, it does
Are,
scan. It is skipping some, so I know it's detecting. But
are you
go ahead.
using Altair 8800 and the other one, and Altair Z? Because this one's Altair Z80. So if they're different, they'll
Well, did I
produce
run? Did I
more.
launch the wrong one? Maybe I launched. Yes, because I meant to. Let me actually. Let me exit out because I meant to run the Altair 8800. I ran the wrong one. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it'll just show different ports.
No, 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 because I'm using the let's see, Altair. Oh, did I not? Maybe this is where I was rushing and I didn't put in
Oh,
no. It's not executable.
oh, but that's well, technically that's just yeah.
Yeah, so whatever. I'm just gonna
Uh,
was it 755? I think it is.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I think
once
no.
upon a time I could do that stuff in my sleep.
Yeah, I usually can, but being on the spot, I always
Yeah.
okay, we'll try that now. And then Joe on.
You want no.
I tabbed.
Yeah.
Okay, there. Okay, so now if I do
Port scan.
port scan, I see. I got getting some funkiness on it. It is showing the ports,
Yeah, that looks
because I've configured for PAD. I'm not sure why I'm getting the other stuff, but
A. So go ahead. So 1, 2, 1, 2.
yeah. So
Yeah, A is okay.
10. Yeah. So
And
it's
FE
okay.
is FE may be isn't FE the what's they call it, the IO byte or something?
No,
The
that's the SIM-H
that's the SIM.
byte.
Oh, it's the SIM-H
Okay,
SIM-H.
byte.
so
Port.
it's possible certain things I might want to skip or something. Again, I thought it was kind of cool to have something to show me what's on it because every now and
Right.
then, maybe not in the case of this, but on another system, I get a card and I'm not familiar with which ports it's actually trying to use.
Right. Right.
It's kind of an undocumented type thing.
Yep.
I have a um, Chicom
Right.
card that looks like it looks like a normal serial
Right.
card, but there's no documentation anywhere
So,
for it. So I've been trying to
so
figure that out. But go ahead.
so sometimes I've noticed because when I was getting my IO4 set up with all the different tweaks,
Yeah.
um, I would notice that sometimes on a port scan, the serial ports would show up, but not the parallel ports. So that's probably the way that the code checks the port, because parallel ports are, how can I put this, dumb.
Yeah.
They're just like a void that you throw things at and that throws things at you.
Yeah.
And so the detectors don't always see them, I noticed. And I need to go look at the code and see how it works.
So yeah, I mean, at this point, so with this, I actually went back to the other one because I didn't like those weird characters and stuff, and it seemed like the prompt was off. I
Yeah.
rushed to install. I didn't actually do the normal install like I would for the Altair on this system because the 8800 I didn't have it on running on here.
Yeah.
In and out ports are pretty much the same thing. You enter in a port number. I'll do 10. It gives you what it is, and I think if you do out, maybe not. Sorry, out, and then 11 would be out. And then the data you'd want is, I don't know, 40 maybe. Yeah, okay. It actually pumped out that character onto my screen, which is the at character. The next thing would be hex load. So hex load. It's right now, since this is all done in the window, the actual SIM-H console. Normally, you can use. If I was using a terminal program in serial, it would let me use like a send and stuff. So let me go over here and we'll start off with select all and then copy and then paste. Great. Okay. And go 0119. Hey, it's X byte, X basic, me and that S. I like that thing. I think
XY basic.
XY basic because I can just load in as a hex file. Copy and paste, and at this point you can write a whole program for it. And then I have one other thing. I want to add a feature, and I couldn't get it. I didn't want to mess around with the footprint of this one, so I wrote it as a separate program, and then hopefully I'll be able to collapse everything out and clean it up and fit it. So let me get back into this again. I'll do a hex load, and let me go to my other program. And again, this was just something in my head when I was messing around with this stuff. There we are. Select all, copy, paste. Okay, go 01. It's not really formatting great. So essentially, you have hex load. Well, I said, wouldn't it be nice to be able to grab a section of memory and dump it out as a hex file? Now, I don't know if that's actually useful, but if I actually have it dump out itself or something close to it, which I think 02, I want to say EF.
Right.
It literally dumps
that actually is very useful. That's actually very useful.
Yeah. So there's two caveats. So I have two versions of it. This one is one I call it dumb and strong. It just prints everything as it's going along. The problem is it doesn't know that how many bytes is in the final line. So I actually always make it 20 and then pad it with Fs at the end. And it's this way it calculates a proper value at the end, CRC. I do have one that's a buffer and actually writes out the buffer, and then it doesn't print the buffer until if it realizes there's less than 20, it then goes and fixes the counter in front and recalculates the thing. but it was so much more complicated. This one's just, I call it dumb and strong. It just works. So the idea here is at this point you can grab this, and you actually could literally grab this
Right.
and
Just paste it into a text editor. Yeah.
yeah, or you can copy, and if I go and sorry, wrong thing. If I exit out, rerun Jomon, do hex, and insert it in, and then go. It's running the program. It just copied itself again, essentially, if you know what I mean.
Right. Right.
So,
Yep.
you know,
Well, also, if you need to tweak something, that can be really quick because if you can go in with the right software because the CRC stuff in the hex files is a little bit beyond most people calculating in their head.
yeah, me too.
I was playing around with something the other day and I realized I needed to change a single byte. And I went in and changed the single byte in the hex file in the Intel hex file.
Yeah.
I forgot to change the CRC, and of course my hex load barfed immediately.
Yeah, yes. So that's one of the other things with this program. If it has a problem, I had one where that was the problem. It wasn't calculating the
Right.
It was putting a 20 at the beginning, saying 20 bytes are in here, but it only had 10 with a proper CRC. But the problem is the hex loader was looking for 20.
Right.
Because it saw it at the beginning. It was looking to roll through 20. And because of that, it would actually don't drop itself somewhere else back into Jomon. It was really kind of weird. I put in some things to stop that from happening, but I'm not really. So the goal is to take Jomon, clean it up. It's definitely not optimized. It does fit on the ROM, like I said, EEPROM, but in the goal is to get enough room and hopefully shove this into as another option, and then I'm going to call it go through and just keep fixing things as I find that are broken, trying to figure out that port scan a little better. So that's where I am. It's been fun. It's all done I did it in 8080 assembler, and I did it with the simulator in Grok. I gotta give a hand. I did use for questions and stuff. I've been using that. I initially did not look at any of the Altmon stuff. I did finally look at Altmon. Because there was a feature in Altmon that I liked and I couldn't figure out how to do it. So the feature is in Altmon, first if you hit, I believe it's escape, it gives you that first thing. You hit escape and it's going to drop you back to the prompt. I didn't have that, so I found out how they were doing it. And then the other thing is, say you go and you want to break Control C. Well, I didn't do quick enough. Control C is very fast. On a 9600 baud terminal, you can easily break it. And that's when you learn you want to break. So Control C was the other function that Altmon had that I looked at the code. And also, I did that afterwards. Off looking at it, saying, "Geez, his is so much smaller than mine." His dump and his. It's like, "Geez, oh my God!" I said, "There's definitely optimization to be had here." So, but yeah, you can actually, I'm at F800, so you can kind of see some of the prompts and stuff for the different things for the thing. So again, that's where I've been. It's been
have you messed with throttle?
No, throttle is that a way within the simulator to slow it down?
Yeah, if you quit and just go back into it.
Yeah.
If you want to try it.
Yeah, no, I do. Okay. So I have to get
just run it.
Run it. Okay.
And then I'm sorry. Yeah, now do Control E.
E to get to the prompt. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, do set. And then space throttle.
Throttle. I can spell that right.
TTLE.
Yeah, I'll see.
It might just work with throt. I'm not sure. But THROTTLE.
TT. Thank you. I am. Yeah, spelling and typing. Neither one.
I'm sorry, and then do a space.
No, you gotta assign a numeric to the throttle.
Yeah. So
okay. Sorry. Set. Is it equals or space?
No, and then do a space, and then do like 250, and then a /1.
I like that.
Yeah, and then that'll tell it to basically sleep 1 millisecond every 200 I'm sorry, about every 250 instructions, it's going to sleep 1 millisecond.
Okay.
At least on my computer, it seems to be around 2 megahertz. And then if you run it again,
just to do go 800 like that thing. Okay. We'll do dump. Yeah, so here I have enough time to hit Control C.
yeah.
Again, thank you. That gives a little more a little closer simulation.
Right.
Yeah, so if you wanted to run slower, you can try
I
stuff
like that.
like
Yeah.
that. You can tell it to throttle itself.
I'll throw that in my config in my little
Yeah, if you
config
wanted to run
file.
real slow, put 1/250.
Yeah.
That's great.
Which I have done. It's like I don't really want it to single step. I really want it to run slow because I can't figure out what the darn thing's doing.
Okay, well that's about it. I mean, that was what I've been playing with, and as I talk about
Cool.
Jomon, I don't know if it'd ever be ready for more than anything that I'm going to play with, but right now, I mean, like I have it up on GitHub, but I don't have it. It's all private. I don't know if there's enough value because Altmon pretty much does everything we need. Honestly,
Yeah.
at least in my opinion, this was more for me to learn.
Well, I was going to ask, can you send me a copy of the?
You want this version of it?
Well, yeah, because it was doing weird stuff with the simulator that I want to look at.
It actually doesn't do weird stuff up in my other desktop. It's very possible the simulator
Interesting.
that I put here might have been what it is. Just like 10 minutes before the meeting, I went out. I realized I didn't have your version of the simulator here. I ran up to the house and zipped it up and sent it down. So we can try run it one more time. But yes, I can absolutely send you a copy.
Yeah, because it may be stuff that's already been fixed, but it's like, wow, why is it doing that?
Well, like I said, it works perfect. I don't get any of that garbage up in
Okay.
up at the house.
But are you using the 8080 or Z80 up at the house?
No, it's the exact same here. I'll get the cat out. So essentially it's set up a Z80 up at the house there, but it's the 8080
No,
8080 emulator.
That's set to Z80 though.
Yeah, yes. I did that because I wanted to make sure that the 8080 code I'm writing would work on the Z80.
Generally, it's the other way around that you have problems because of extra instructions on the Z80.
Yes, yeah, I know. I wasn't sure when I was writing it, but go ahead. Did somebody say something?
Yeah, this is Terry. I'm going to have to
Okay.
back off. It's 5:00. It's time for me to head
Terry.
out.
Understood.
I just
take
thought
care.
Can I give a very quick update?
Yep, please.
Walt's boards.
That's going to be quick.
I have proven that the TDL ZPU does not like me. On the system that I run with the Kromemco ZPU board, I let it run for 5 days without touching it, and everything still works. On the TDL ZPU, I cannot get it to work in the same configuration. So there's something associated with the TDL that's not right. I still think it's something to do with the sense switch disable or something like that, but I need to get into it more next week. So that's just a quick update.
So it's a TDL problem.
Sure seems to be.
Well, that if that isolates everything else, that's good for the computer. Then it's just a matter of getting the TDL working correctly.
Yep. All right. Well, I'll see you all next week.
That's good progress.
See you next
Great
week.
progress, Terry. Take care, bud.
I'm bailing out also. Thank you for letting me listen in.
Oh, yeah.
And
Take care,
thanks
Gary.
for including me on the notification.
Yeah.
Okay, see you next time,
See you
Gary.
next week,
Have a
bud.
good night.
Yep. Take care. I guess I can stop sharing, right? There's anything else worth messing with that stuff or not?
No, I think it's great.
Oh, it's great.
It's a lot of work.
It was fun. Yeah. Again, it gave me stuff to do up at the house. I do have a little setup up there, but it's something you just sit in front of a terminal and sit there and code nice and easy, and some background rock music or something. So it's all good. Actually, it's a lot of new wave these days.
Oh yeah.
Listen to yeah.
Hey, Walt,
Yeah.
do you know how many of those Sony FD 235 HFs you have?
Say again?
How many Sony FD235HF drives do you have?
I think I probably looks like I got one.
One. Oh, okay.
Is that
Because
Sony or is that a TIAC?
see where it says the 5X Sony
Okay.
MPF? That means I got 5 of those drives.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wondering what, can you shoot a picture of that one?
Um, I'll have to dig it out. It's in a box, but I know where the box is, so yeah, I'll take a picture.
Because there's a bunch of different ones, and if you have one that I don't have, rather than buy it on eBay, I might see about getting yours.
You want the HF one?
Yeah, that'll do 360.
Okay. Yeah, I'll dig it out and take a picture and send it to you.
So it is a Sony though. That's a I know
No,
the TIAC's got a similar model number.
Right.
So Sony also does 360.
Yeah, well, I'm imagining it's either a Sony of the same thing, just
Yeah,
rebranded, or
yeah,
it's, I can't believe they use the same part number.
yeah, yeah. That'd be kind of
Or it's
odd.
actually a TIAC. But I'm
Okay.
curious, because I just found like 4 different motherboards on eBay for
Yeah,
the
I
same
Yes,
can't
yeah,
drive.
guarantee I can't
yeah.
guarantee the drive works. I just got a box of drives. I
Oh,
haven't
sure.
tested anything.
Yeah, I'm just curious if it what kind of board it has on it.
Yeah, I'll get some pictures to you.
Yeah.
Because like the ones I have, you can just access the board, and the other ones I have, you gotta take the covers off and stuff.
Yeah, I had one. I had to take a metal cover off,
Yeah.
kind of thing, and
Yeah.
but even then, yeah. I mean, like this one has I don't know if you can see it. Has all the jumpers right there and stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
So
that's what I was just looking at. So you already have one of those.
that is I have a 235 HF 3240.
Yeah.
It's that last 4 digits are all the difference in the world when I went looking in the manuals. So I have
Okay.
two. I have 2 of those, or 2 with the jumpers like that.
I have
Yeah. Is
a
that, well,
I have
actually,
a
the other one's a same thing. That's a 235 HG A332. So yeah, they're all different numbers. I'm sorry. Go ahead,
I
Pat.
have a M29 and a C291.
I got an A291. That's yeah, 235. Okay, and then I have these HG's 7. This one only has one little jumper on it that you can actually see. I don't see any other way of really getting. You mean you have to pull the board off the. Yeah, that one you probably have to go through and figure out what you have to desolder. I would think.
Yeah, if it even has it. That's the hard part, is finding it. Because
Yeah,
even if you look up the HF drives, I can't find documentation that says, "Hey, do this and it'll run at 360." They just say
that's
it'll
what.
run at 300, and that's kind of the problem.
Yeah, I think that's what's been happening in mine, and I have not gotten there. So I'll send you a picture of the model number and the boards I have, and maybe we can figure out if I have anything that's useful.
Yeah, well,
But
I think the one you just showed me, Will, I just saw a picture of it on the internet.
yeah, let's see. Well, so I have 2 like that. See, that's the 235 HF 3240, and that has and that's the one I actually tried to flip. I thought I could flip the jumper on it to make it drive 0. Was that was one of the jumpers, and I thought there was a jumper for low density, but that didn't seem to do anything for me when
Oh,
I did
bummer.
it. So, but again, that's me trying to figure out. It's these jumpers. They have like numbers and then letters, and they can go
Oh, yeah.
different orientations. It's completely squirrely.
I think the last 4 numbers is like the not a manufacture date, but like the the process date through the factory. I don't think
I
it changes the actual electronics.
Well, I actually, when I looked up, I found a document that showed all the jumpers and actually had the 4 digits, last 4 digits said these are the jumpers for the last 4 digits. And then if
Oh,
you had a different set of numbers, it showed a different image.
wow.
I'd have to find when you do these meetings, I clear out all my tabs because the system's pretty old and doesn't have a lot of memory on it. So I don't want to have it hold things up. But if I can, maybe I can find it if I do a quick search.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, I got two of these MPF 920s. Oh yeah, it says 5X. Yeah. This one's even got a floppy disk in it.
That could be good or bad, depending upon the condition.
Man, that floppy disk probably worth something, man.
Well, unless it's deteriorated and managed to deposit the coating from the disc on the top of the head, in which case you got some cleaning coming up.
Here's the Sony. This is the Sony 235 HF.
Yeah, see, that's totally different than mine.
Let's see. Let me get the light up here.
So, like, these are. I'm sure this isn't gonna. There we go.
Oh.
It's like this is one type, and I mean they're both HFs, and then this is another HF, but they're just. It would help if I
Yeah.
camera maybe. But like one of them, like the drive selects in different places. I mean, they're like different boards.
Yeah. There's. I'm going to put up something that kind of put up something in chat that kind of describes, like you see two different sets of pin based on the last four digits.
Yeah. So both these I got running at 360 though. So and then Walt I think has one maybe like you have, Joe. It has the drive select jumpers on it.
Okay. I mean,
I don't have.
yeah, I mean, that might give you a little, maybe help you a little more flexibility with it when you're trying to mess around.
Well, to just document, if you see one on eBay and it looks like this, then you're probably okay. Otherwise,
yeah, yeah. I may need a better picture.
Yeah, I'll send you a picture.
Yeah. That's fine. So, by the way, Patrick, you put a telnet link up top. When I click on it, it gives me a secure connection failed.
Wow.
Was I supposed to be able to get to it?
You should, but telnet shouldn't be running any secure anything.
Right, telnet.
I didn't think. Maybe that's the problem. Is I did it from a web page. I clicked on it. There's my problem. I didn't see the telnet when I was
assuming it's actually running. I haven't checked.
Telnet from a web page is
Yeah, no, that was my problem. I dummy here did it wrong.
I should probably.
No, that was me. You don't have to do anything.
It might not be running.
Oh,
it's on a simulator.
Yeah. Let's see here.
I don't even know if I have.
It's running.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm
sure.
I
connected to. I just used serial to do a telnet to it.
It's allegedly going to be in the next issue of Compute.
Oh.
And it was in the first or second issue, or maybe the third. But the Amos BBS guy, I can't remember his name. He's like, "Hey, your site's going to be in the magazine again, and it's not running."
Okay.
Oh gosh, let me go look.
So now I got another challenge. I got to get Kermit running on my Altair to my fake modem to connect to this over the internet.
Absolutely. Or use a real modem and dial up.
Well, yeah, one step at a time.
I have a few.
That would require I had an analog phone line, which I haven't had for 30 years probably.
I just got a second one.
I'm using VoIP and I could dial into his BBS.
Well,
man, you can try.
That depends very much.
Works. It works. I get right in on VoIP. No problem.
VoIP.
Because in the early days of VoIP, anything like that like modem-based fax machines, none of it would work on the early VoIP systems. I remember installing a bunch, and the analog to digital converters just could not code.
PAPs, I think they were a PAP. Is that what they were called?
Analog to
PAT. PAT.
It's yeah. Anyway, whatever it is. But the converters you would install for clients so they could plug in analog phones.
Yeah.
They would work for phones, but you plug in anything that used the modem and it just wouldn't work in the early days for a long time.
We used
ATAs,
yeah, ATAs. Thank you. That's what I was thinking. The ATA stuff. Yeah. We used for a long time. We used Asterisk. Linux works great.
I had a client with Asterisk. I hated that system.
Oh no, we run a whole company's our whole company on it. It
Um,
was amazing what we could do with it.
yeah.
You know,
You remember Revision 3?
I don't remember the different numbers,
No, no,
honestly. I
no.
don't
There
even.
was a company called Revision 3 that did
Oh, okay,
online
no.
streaming. They were like a
Oh,
pre-YouTube.
oh,
And I did
okay,
based in the Bay Area here, and I did tech support for them for a while.
yeah,
As one of our clients, and yeah, they used Asterix.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I managed that for a while.
And my
I didn't
son,
do the initial setup. Go ahead.
my son just installed it. He's using it for a little side gig he's got going
yeah.
on.
Okay.
It works.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, well, if you need an analog phone line, just get a Magic Jack line. That's what I'm using.
Yeah.
does that
Spend
work?
$5 a
And
year
I
and
gotta do something out here because I actually do have a few. I was looking at the card over here. I have a few modems. I have an old real phone, with the
Yeah.
acoustic, the one that can fit in an acoustic handset because I have a TI Silent 8700 with the acoustic
There you go.
jazz.
Yeah.
So I was looking to play with that sometimes. I think it goes up to 300 baud.
Wow. Yeah.
yeah.
Screaming.
There you go.
Yeah, well,
I'm
Magic,
telling you, get that sucker going.
yeah, the
Be fat and
Magic Jack,
happy.
I've dialed into my own BBS and to a couple others,
Okay.
including Patrick's, not having any problems.
Well, that's
Okay.
good.
Yeah,
I
so
gotta look
that's a
into
cheap
that.
analog line for you.
Yeah, because the telcos here in California are getting ready to abandon support for actual analog service.
I know it's going to kill my business.
Yeah, all across the country they get because they said unfortunately they can't charge for it what it costs them to maintain it because there's so few people using it.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
and
what,
when you've worked on the back end, like when I worked at Lucent, I worked on the sell side of Lucent for a while, and you see the cost of putting together all that stuff. It's amazing that phone companies don't go out of business because this equipment is so expensive.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
back in the 80s, after I finished with at NASA,
Hmm.
I was working at Bay Alarm Company for a while. And I actually wrote the very first digital fire retransmission program on a Trash 80 Model 100 computer for them
Yeah.
there. Because
The little
they
model
just had
100
me
like that.
fiddling with stuff. They had me just fiddling with stuff, trying to figure out new ways to use their alarm equipment and that, because they had all these different magnetic switches and stuff like that. And so the boss came in and handed me a Model 100 and says, AT&T's pulling out all the T1 lines, and
Yep.
so we have to replace that with a digital system. And if you've never seen a Gamewell machine, but it's a big honking monster, and all it does is it has one pin that types onto a tape, and it goes bing, 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 bing. It does numbers like that. It does, it does a number, then a space for a couple of spaces, and then another number. And by those number codes, the fire department could look it up in a book as to the address of the place where they had to go put out the fire. So the TRS-80 thing, I wrote it still connected to the Gamewell machines, but it gave them a digital display on the Model 100. So they installed a Model 100 at the fire station, and one at the Bay Alarm Company had one, and the guys would have to type in the information from their alarm company computer, transfer it over to the Model 100, and then it would send the Gamewell code, because that was required by law, to the Gamewell machine. But at the same time, it popped up on the the LCD display. So the fire department's got a lot faster response times because of that. And I still have that program, but I have a printout listing which I
Yeah.
photocopied and put online.
Mm.
But I don't know if anybody has old Gamewell equipment to play with it.
Slightly
Actually,
unlikely.
Even trying to find the Model 100 TRS-80 could be a challenge.
Oh, those
Yeah.
are all over the place.
Are they around? Okay,
Oh yeah,
I have not
yeah.
looked for them. Is that the little keyboard
Little,
like that with
yeah,
the little
little flat,
three,
yeah,
four,
with about
little four line type thing?
eight
Yeah,
lines of text and that.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I
I'm
used
glad.
to.
I always wonder what you'd do with that. Okay.
Yeah, I plugged it. I plugged it into an ASR 33 to do the printouts. So I got
Yeah,
wide carriage printouts
yeah,
uh, program. I don't remember. I mean, I figured it out. It worked. It's probably the crappiest program anybody ever saw. you know.
yeah,
And I've kind of looked at the code a couple of times, but I don't even know what the hell I was doing, even though it's documented a lot in the program.
yeah,
It's just so long ago, I don't remember any of that stuff. But I
yeah.
remember the Gamewell machines. I mean, it was just a monster. And I mean, it's like looking at the guts of a giant clock. You just see all these levers and gears and things. And then in the
Yeah.
middle of it is this little thing poking dots on it.
Have you ever?
And it
Go
was
ahead.
like the same kind of tape like for a paper punch thing, except it didn't punch holes. It just made a dot smear on it.
Uh,
Have you ever looked at? I started because I have one of those ASR 33s that I picked up somewhere along the way, and I started looking at pictures of how it actually works. That's scary. There's levers and sliders and different. There's so many pieces interacting. It's a scary setup. It kind of triggered me.
Yeah, my dad had a Model 17 from World War II. He had a Handio
Oh,
setup,
well,
and
yeah,
so we could watch. He had a cover, but you just loosen the little screw and you cover up, watch the mechanism work, and it was like there was solenoids that would poke poke the things, and the little thing worked like almost like a piano hammer to poke the holes into the tape. I mean, it was really neat, but it was a whole bunch of little levers and stuff.
yeah.
You just go bing, 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 and you see these levers flipping up
Well,
and
I
down.
think Tim put up a picture of somebody. You were the one that did that picture of someone with the solenoids that popped that did the
yep.
punch.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, you shared that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
Somebody did.
yeah, yeah. His was he. I read some more of the article as well, and it was he was making his own punch tape because his system wasn't strong enough to punch holes through proper punch tape if he could even
Gotcha.
find it. So he was
Yeah,
using thinner paper. Oh yeah, yeah,
yeah,
Well, I think that's why there's some people that are using adding machine paper tape, and they're cutting
yeah.
it into paper tape widths, 1 inch widths.
Making a
So
splitter. Yeah,
yeah. When I ended up with that the teletype there, I started researching paper tape. I actually was able to get some of them. First thing you do is you join Green Keys, which is a group, like this group,
mm,
and Green Keys is all the ham radio guys with teletypes. And then in there, they every now and then somebody will post that they have some, or they'll post that they're selling some type thing. So I've been able to buy some there. The other thing is researching. It sounds like if you find there's some sort of paper strip still used for air traffic control. It's long strip, and
Oh yeah.
right.
supposedly that is 1 inch, and can be used for that. I can't confirm this, but
Yeah.
that's what I was
Right.
somebody was posting.
I just had this image of air traffic control running at 110 baud.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I guess they're still supposed to have a physical printout of something, and that's what that
Yeah,
strip
no,
of
I get
paper
it. I
was.
get it. I get it.
And they clip it. Who knows how or why that?
No, I
But
think that
I guess it's still made. Go ahead,
I
Walt.
think the ATC things are wider than an inch though, because I've been in the tower and it looked like it was more like 1.5 inches.
It could be. Again,
Got
this
about
was a
four
posting.
lines of information on there.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be that hard to make a splitter to trim it down to size.
Right. Well, but that's like I
Mm.
say, you can get
Right,
adding machine paper
right.
rolls really cheap, and then
Yeah,
they just put it on a saw,
yeah,
table
Yeah.
saw and cut it down to an inch, and they can get two or
Oh,
three tapes out of one roll.
okay.
yeah, and yeah. The other difficulty is some of them prefer oiled tape
Yep.
because they need the lube. So if you don't have that, you
Right.
can still use it, but you have to. keep
Manually
it
oil the
well.
punches.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you definitely keep it well oiled. They say so.
That- that-
Again, that system I know powers on, but I don't know anything more about it. My brother's supposed to work on it
yeah.
when he gets a chance.
We're
So
looking forward to a demo of you booting CPM at 110 baud.
I'm hoping actually I can generate some tapes for you, some punch tapes because it has a punch and reader on it. So I'm hoping we can
Yeah.
get that going. And yeah, 100,
Yeah.
of course, yeah. I
The
actually already
guy,
got Mike had a board that gave me converts it from the I'm gonna get my numbers right. It converts it to RS-232. We have a little board that literally plugs in the back, and I've already picked that up.
oh,
So
okay.
I'm waiting to use that. But go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say the guy in England who made the OP80,
Yeah.
he actually on his website, I don't know if he still does it, he listed punch service.
Yes.
So he charged, so you could just send him the binary files and he'll punch them for you.
Oh
And then
wow.
Okay.
he charges a certain amount per 500 bytes, I think.
Okay.
And it
That's
was like,
interesting.
just send me the file and I'll punch it for you. That way you don't have to have your own tape punch.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
go to the S100 Club and ask somebody to make you a tape, and they'll be happy to do it at cost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, it comes down to the supplies. If you can keep
Yeah.
yourself supplied with paper tape, that's what it comes. That's where I can understand when somebody has $100 for a basic listing.
Well, there's
Yeah.
one guy in the S100 group has several cases of tape, but he's hoarding them only for himself.
It's his retirement savings, right?
Yeah.
Well, he plays with the machine a lot, I guess. So
Yeah.
but he showed a picture, and it looked like he had three by three by three boxes
Yeah.
of tape
Wow.
in his garage.
So I have this paper tape that came in with one of the systems I ended up buying, like I said, on Craigslist or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It says 8080 basic, but then it has it handwritten on it. That's not probably gonna work well.
Yeah.
It just says bad. So I'm really not sure how bad it is.
Well, that's because the older basic had math problems.
Oh, the older basic has all matter. That
Or-
version
or-
of basic I
Yeah.
loaded last
Yeah.
week.
680 basic couldn't do math correctly. 8080 basic couldn't do math correctly.
Well, the other thing I've
1600
discovered.
basic couldn't.
Yeah. What's
So the other
that?
thing I discovered is that the 1.0 basic that I was loading off punch tape,
Yeah.
it doesn't do the mem size the way that the later version does. If you type in the memory size and hit enter, it works fine.
Yeah.
If you just hit enter, it says 1500 bytes free because it's hard coded in there. If you hit enter to assume you've got, what would that be, like 4K or something?
So they're
Nice.
assuming you only got a 16K.
No,
Yeah.
it's assuming you've got like 4K.
4K. Yeah, that would think about it. That would make sense when they first came out.
Right.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
I think the problem I have with this is bad can mean so many different things.
Yeah.
Bad program, bad, punch, bad,
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that this will be one of the first things I test to see what
Yeah.
that actually is.
Yeah, well, the guy that was selling all the Altair stuff on
Yeah.
eBay, I ended up buying. I got him at $175 for his set of 7 tapes, so it was only $25 a piece. So I thought,
Oh, that's not bad.
reasonable. So I now have the 4 tapes necessary for the Altair development system,
Oh,
which
cool.
is a debugger, an editor, an assembler, and the monitor.
Yeah.
So you load the monitor in from punch tape, and then the monitor loads in the next piece, and so on. So that's
Toggle the switches on the front panel first.
well, no. Oh, well, yeah, that's the other problem is that you've got to do manual bootloaders because again, this all comes before the multi-boot loader existed.
Yeah.
Which again, if you want to look at some interesting software, look at the source code for the multi-boot loader. It's heavily what it does with those switches is when you set the switches, it reads those in. That points to bits of data that then is copied into the active code to modify the code to work for that specific device. It pulls in the code for your reader, and then it puts an additional byte that it passes to the program it's loading to tell you about your terminal, tell it about your terminal. But if you go into it, you can actually see it's going in and rewriting the way it runs the I/O drivers for the serial board, parallel board, or whatever by just literally overriding the code with just data.
That's cool. Yeah,
Self-modifying code is the most wonderful stuff.
I actually my Jomon has the port thing is self-modifying. It actually has it writes out and changes the port because you
Yep.
can't ports are hard coded. It's always going to go out
Right.
something or in you know, so
Right.
I had to actually have it modify it and then keep calling that each time. So that
Yeah.
that was fun to learn, figure
Yeah,
out.
we've all done it. We've all written self-modifying code.
That was my first on that. Well, I mean, in other languages, yes, but
Yeah.
that was my first with that. So that was
But yeah, multi-bootloader has
yeah.
all self-modifying.
I gotta
It's
look.
quite an interesting piece of it's. I think
Maybe that's the next thing I write.
Mike has the source code on his website. So
Yeah,
want to go look at some interesting assembly. In fact, he has the source code for almost everything that's published on there. So there's some
yeah,
great reading on there for
yeah. Well, I'd say I got to figure out what I want to. I want to write something else, even if it's
right.
something that already exists. I want to kind of go through. That's best way for me
Yes.
to learn. So,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
multi bootloader. Maybe that's the way to go.
Yeah,
Maybe start with a basic bootloader.
the basic ones are all on there, and again, he
Yeah,
publishes the hex file and the source code.
yeah,
So it's nice and easy when you go, oh, I want to tweak that for this.
yeah. Yeah,
Um,
I like Mike's site a lot. So you know,
I have downloaded way too much stuff from his site. Like, oh, I need a copy of that, so it's there, and I don't have to go find it, and I can put it where it makes sense to me,
yeah,
not to him.
yeah. I've had a tough time finding certain things. I'm not sure MFE archive or what or
Yeah.
does that you have, I think that's one of the folders you go into when you're.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it stands for is what I was trying to figure out.
yes.
You know, so
Yeah.
But guys,
I'll ask.
I gotta hop off.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Well,
Take
see
care,
you guys
guys.
next week. Okay.
Next week. Take
See
care.
y'all.
Adios.